Hey all, in this section we look at a perfect price elasticity and perfectly priced inelasticity, no matter if it is the demand curve or the supply curve. Let's take a look at the extreme case of perfectly elastic demand curve and supply curve. The demand curve and the supply curve, as shown in panel A and panel B respectively, both are going to be flat. That means no matter the change in quantity, the price will stay fixed if we are drawing a perfectly elastic demand curve and a perfectly elastic supply curve. To do the calculation here for price elasticity of demand, we are going to divide the percent change in quantity over the percent change in price. Because the price is fixed, this percentage change in price, which is the new price minus old price over the average of prices, this value will be equal to 0. So my result will be infinite because I'm dividing the percentage change in quantity demanded over 0, and something divided by 0 is equal to infinite. Now, if I do the same calculation for price elasticity of supply, I'm going to divide the percentage change in quantity supplied over 0. Because price is fixed in either case, the change in price will be equal to 0. My result will be infinite no matter if I'm looking at the price elasticity of demand or the price elasticity of supply. Example, some real life example here is a $10 bill for a perfectly elastic demand curve. If someone charges you $10.01 for a $10 bill, the quantity demanded will go down to 0. Now, it is difficult to find a real-life example for perfectly elastic supply curve. The only example I found here is if you look at the market for labor, what happens if the price is going down? So if I look at the market for labor, who supplies labor? Definitely the workers or the laborers, they're going to supply labor. If minimum wages goes down even by a cent, the supply will go down to 0. So if I look at the market for labor, I will have the wages on the vertical axis. If the wages are going down by a cent, the quantity supplied of labor will go down to 0. That's the concept here. Now take a look at perfectly inelastic demand curve and supply curve. No matter which one we are looking at, the demand curve or the supply curve, both the curves will be vertical. The concept behind perfectly inelastic demand and supply curves is the quantity is unchanged no matter the change in price. Because quantity is fixed, the percentage change in quantity demanded as well as percentage change in quantity supplied will be equal to 0. So price elasticity of demand is equal to 0 over percentage change in price. The result is 0 because 0 divided by something is equal to 0. Price elasticity of supply, percentage change in quantity supplied is 0 over the percentage change in price, this is also equal to 0. So no matter if we are looking at the demand curve or the supply curve, for perfectly inelastic demand or supply curve, the price elasticity will be equal to 0. Example for a perfectly inelastic demand curve is a visit to your vet. No matter whatever the vet is charging, I definitely need to take my dog and my cat to the vet. Okay. Perfectly inelastic supply curve. One example is oceanfront property. No matter how much the price is going up, the supply cannot really change overnight. The supply is always gonna be fixed. Okay, so these are the extreme cases we just looked at. Thank you very much.